Okay, you guys, I have reached the end of the game. In my last video, you can see the final fight and what transpires, leading to what we're about to see here. So from what I read so far, the secret ending, you have to go back home after you've beat the game, and you have to lay in your bed. That triggers the scene that we're about to see right now as a certain pivotal character, which kind of gives us a hint of what the next game is going to be about. Through the in the last playthrough, you kind of already get a hint of what the next game is going to be about, and it seems like they may go with the Ragnarok storyline, meaning the end times. After I beat the last boss, when I came back to Midgard, Mimir, which is the head on my booty, he says a significant amount of time has kind of passed in Midgard since you've been in Jotunheim. I don't know if time speeds up when you go in that realm, but he says during this time snow befall Midgard, and that was a symbol that Ragnarok will soon follow. So we're gonna see what this cutscene is. I've already selected the home area. I'm about to go through this portal. I wanted to catch any lore that there may have been.
We're finally home.
See?
Feels like a lifetime ago.
Bit drafty, maybe. It's a right improvement over having tree bark in your Tadger.
Okay, we're gonna walk in the door. And if all about this cutscene, I'm gonna do my quick review of the game, my overall experience, and then I will end the video. But let's see this hidden cutscene.
Time to rest.
I'm gonna sleep through winter.
You need a better house, Kratos. Where's the bed, fool? Where is the bed, for real? Okay.
Aren't you tired?
Alright, we about to see. Alright. I'm ready.
Okay, this'll do.
Sleep.
Way ahead of you.
You gonna really sleep or Mimir on your butt, bro? Alright, let's see. Years later. Oh, okay.
What was that?
Your ball.
Oh my God, Thor and Mjolnir, or however you pronounce it. Woo! Beautiful game. And it says years later. Oh, do I cause it to go? So I probably can't return to Midgard at this point. I kind of triggered the last scene that you'll see before you can never go back. Present day. Oh, you can go back.
Atreus, are you ready?
Yeah, but I had the weirdest dream. Fimbulwinter was ending, and Thor came for us. Here at the house.
It was only a dream.
But it felt different. It felt real. It felt like the future.
Then we will worry about it tomorrow. Today, there are still things we can do. Come.
Okay. So with this as the beautiful backdrop, we are going to review the game. Okay. So just like how I do my movies, we're going to divide it in 3 different sections, y'all. Music, character development, Oh no, it's music, pacing, and character development, the plot, stuff like that. So let's first get started. When it came to the God of War music, I listened to the soundtrack on Spotify the day before the game came out. So I had already listened to the soundtrack. Listening to the soundtrack by itself doesn't do it justice. The theme is excellent. Now I could listen to the theme all day, every day. The theme for it is excellent with the low baritone voices. That thing. Yeah, I can listen to that all day. The rest of the soundtrack, I was like, this would probably sound better in the game when I'm fighting enemies and stuff like that. And indeed, it did. The music went along with the game, the setting. The right music came on at the right time during certain fights and stuff like that. The music was perfect. Memorable. I don't know, like Halo, I couldn't go back and listen to the soundtrack by itself aside from the game. Like some soundtracks that I can do with. But this one, definitely good music. It was pretty good. It got me in the game, and every time that God of War theme came on when you were fighting Baldur, it gave me the chills, dude. So anyway, music excellent. I give that a 10 out of 10. If we were gonna rate it out of 10, the music gets a 10 out of 10 because it fits the game so well. Now when it comes to pacing, obviously this is more of like it wasn't a super fetch quest game like Skyrim where you can't, it's like 100 fetch quests before you get to the end of the game, and it's just like, damn, every time you think you're back on the right path, here we go, we're on another quest to get this item that lets you get this item, that lets you get this item. When it comes to pacing, and I know pacing usually only pertains to movies, but pacing can be kind of slow with games, certain games too, like Resident Evil. Look, I'm not gonna make a huge comparison. The pacing in this was pretty good. There was a lot to do. Like when the side quests that I was doing, I wasn't bored with those. I felt like it allowed me to get powerful. I feel like you were supposed to do the side quests in order to progress in the game, because a lot of these fights in the game that took place towards the end, if you didn't have like this in-game armor that I have on right now, it would have been way more difficult. And this is a hard difficult already, so you had to have your armor in order to, you know, beat the end of the game, basically. So I thought that was pretty good. The pacing was excellent. I feel like Freya's turn to the dark side, it was too sudden. I don't feel like there was a good build up to it, because she was this one person. She helped you guys out a lot. She helped you out a lot. And then you leave for a little bit, and then on your journey you find out that that's Baldur's mom, and suddenly the next time you see her, she's looking for Baldur, and her whole motive has changed, and her whole being has changed. She felt different to me when she came back, right when Baldur had revealed himself when you got out of the serpent's stomach. So I felt like the change of her character, it didn't evolve like it should have. I mean, I understand, but it was a sudden evolvement from who she was to what she was the last time you spoke with her. And you know, I feel like that could have been done a little bit better, but overall, I get it. That was her son, killed him. Now she wants to kill you. But still, to suddenly find out that she was the one who gave him, she put that curse on him, or put that spell on him to make it so that Baldur couldn't die. The way you found it out was cool, but the fact that now all of a sudden she's super protective of her son, all, you know, out of nowhere, it was just weird. But other than that, the game was excellent. So the pacing, now the character development, you know, we ain't even got to go into that. Kratos, yes, they did really good. He felt like a dad. He said boy a hell of a lot. Like, he said boy over 1,000 times. He had over 1,000 dialogue lines of boy itself when he was referring to his son Atreus. It was a weird change in personality when you went from Atreus finding out that he was a god to being this cocky little brat, and then you getting on his case and him not being a brat anymore. That was a little sudden. I felt like there should have been more like dialogue between Atreus and Kratos to get Atreus to understand, like, that's not how we operate as gods. Because if you guys didn't watch that playthrough, Atreus became really cocky. He even killed Mati, which is one of Thor's sons, and he killed him off of pure arrogance. Like, I'm a god, I can do whatever I want. So from that point of his character, from what he was at the beginning to what he is now, the sudden change was like really quick, you know. Just like Freya's character, the personality she had at the beginning of the game to what she is now, it changed in an instant, like in a matter of one scene. It didn't take long for that to occur, that change to happen. So I didn't. If anything, the only thing I could say about character development was that I felt like Last of Us did a little bit better when it came to Kratos. I mean, not Kratos. Last of Us did a little bit better when it came to Ellie and Joel. Like, I felt their relationship evolve from what it was from the beginning to the end. And I like how, no, do not get me wrong, I like how their relationship evolved, but there were certain points in the game where Kratos stayed exactly the same throughout the game. He became a little more lenient with his boy, more trusting for his son. But I felt like there was a point in the game where Atreus' personality switched too fast, and then he switched back even quicker, you know? And I felt like that was a little weird. But aside from that, it was excellent. But if we're going to compare it to The Last of Us did a little bit better with the relationship between Ellie and Joel. But this did, if The Last of Us character development was a 10, this was a 9.5. You know, it was right there with it. So this did really good. If I could rate this game out of 10, I'd give this shit a 10. I put 30 hours, maybe a little bit more in this game. And I don't feel like I got bored ever unless I was playing this for 6 hours straight, which one day I did. Matter of fact, my whole day off last week, I played this from 12 to like 6, 7 o'clock. And that was the only time I got bored. The reason why is because I was doing a whole bunch of side quests because I didn't want to stream me doing a whole bunch of side quests and stuff like that. You know, people don't want to watch that. So I did all the side quests, but I got bored because I couldn't go any further into the story without streaming it, and I didn't want to stream that night. Because right when I finished all the side quests, my fiance got home. But anyway, if I could rate this out of a 10, this got a 10. The game was really good. Music was really good. The character development was really good. And the fighting, most of all, was satisfying. Believe it or not, I really like the Leviathan. That was like my favorite thing, throwing it. But the Blades of Chaos, within any game that I ever play, I always enjoyed dual blades more because I like the fast-pacedness of them. And you don't get stuck in swinging animations like in the axe. Sometimes you'll get stuck during certain moves and you'll get hit because you can't react fast enough to an enemy attack coming your way. But with the Blades of Chaos, since the swings are so consecutive, you can stop and evade, getting out of the way of harm. Combat was excellent. I never got bored with it. It was done very well with this game. Overall, the game was excellent. So that is my review. Hope you guys liked this playthrough. And I cussed a little bit. This is my first time really streaming an entire video game. So bear with me. My streaming will get better over time. Subscribe if you want more stuff like this because I'm not stopping. I'm going to do far more games aside from this one. From now into the future. I'm going to do movie reviews, game reviews, you name it. I'm going to do it all. Hope you guys enjoyed my playthrough. I may do another playthrough on the hardest difficulty. I don't know. I don't like New Game Plus where you don't have none of the stuff that you earned anymore. None of your armor, none of your weapons, none of your abilities. I like games where if you do New Game Plus, you keep your stuff. But obviously, for level design, you can't start the entire game over with the stuff that you have earned. So I don't know if I'm going to do another playthrough on the hardest difficulty. Sorry. Hope you guys enjoyed this review and that last scene that I showed you. It's basically letting you know what the next game is going to be about. Your next big opponents are going to be Freya, because you killed her son Balder, Thor, because he's Thor, and if you go by the lore in this game, Thor is an evil motherfucker in this one, and Odin is just as bad. So they're gonna be a 3 big bads. And if it is about Ragnarok, then you might end up having to deal with Surtur, the fire giant, which is the one you saw at the end of Thor Ragnarok with the huge sword. And then you might have to fight the 2 wolves. The wolves in the Ragnarok are the ones who eat the sun, and that's a big part of Ragnarok. So we already got 5 big opponents right there. God of War 2 gonna be lit. Okay, and I'm gonna stream that motherfucker too. Hopefully I got more followers to watch me whoop some ass in that one. You guys have a good day. Hope you liked the video. Thank you for stopping by. If you didn't stop by for the stream, hopefully you liked the recording. Leave any comments that you may have. You guys have a good day.